These are top 10 craziest DMT experiences shared on Joe Rogan. Episode number 1227. Joe Rogan and Mike Tyson describe profound DMT trips and question why it's banned.
What kind of music you listening to?
I listen to everything, man.
Yeah.
I do. I listen to a lot of classic rock for whatever reason. But I've been listening to a lot of Kanye West over the last few weeks.
Tell me, what is he talking about?
Kanye?
Yeah.
Well, he's talking about a lot of crazy shit. He actually talked about DMT in one of his recent songs.
Really? You think he did that before?
I think he did.
Oh, man.
Well, I know he's friends with Kid Cudi.
Mm-hmm.
Kid Cudi's been in here, and Kid Cudi's had some psychedelic experiences.
Yeah. Once you go there, it's just, you don't want to do nothing else again.
Well, it puts it all in the perspective. It lets you see that as much as this thing seems to be important, this is all temporary, and you're a part of forever.
And it also allows you to become comfortable with death.
Yeah. Yeah, you know who said that? Larry Hagman. Remember that guy Dallas?
Yeah.
From JR from
JR
Dallas?
from Dallas.
He did an interview with CNN once.
And I Dream of Jeannie as well.
Yeah, that's right. He sprung it on him on CNN once. He was talking about how he did acid. He took a big dose of acid, and he's never worried about death ever again. That it just alleviated his worry about passing on.
That's wild. It's just that because I felt the same way. And I said, wow, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. I think DMT even more specifically because they think
why does it affect the mind that way? What causes it to affect the mind that way?
They don't totally know.
That it make it visionate. You visualize everything.
They don't totally know. They know that your brain makes it. They know that your body makes it, they should say. They know that it's produced in your liver and their lungs, and there's some evidence now because they found it in rats that the pineal gland produces it, which is that's the third eye of Eastern mysticism. That gland actually in rats, they've proven, produces DMT, and they think it does so in people too.
Once I did, I wanted to do it again and again and again. And they said, you shouldn't do it too much, Mike. But I was like, man, I got to, grasp what's going on here. Why am I feeling this? Why did this, in a weird way, humbled you?
I don't think you should listen to the people who say you shouldn't do it too much. I think you should do it as much as you want.
That's what I agree with, too.
Yeah.
I agree.
You could handle it. If you could handle being Mike Tyson, you can handle doing DMT a few times.
DMT, yeah, that's where I think I'm going. I think I'm going in that direction.
Well, I mean, it's not something you should do all day, every day, but you can learn a lot from it. It's very beneficial and very strange that it's illegal. It's illegal.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Even though, Terrence McKenna had a joke about it because your body's making it, so everybody's holding. We all have it. It's illegal, but it's like making blood illegal. Everybody has it.
Isn't it wild when they go to Sonora Desert when they find these toads?
Yeah. Yeah, I've never experienced it from the toad. I've only
watched
experienced
it on television.
With the way they extract it?
Yeah, they grab them and they squeeze it. They bust his pimples and they bust it on a glass of mirror and then they take it off and they let it harden.
Yeah, they let it dry in the sun. Yeah. They scrape it off with a razor blade.
Yes.
I've only had it synthetically made in a laboratory. You used to be able to buy it online. You used to be able to buy a fucking can of it, like this big, enough to get a whole state high. You just buy it online. It was totally legal.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's bizarre that it's illegal.
Well, they would say not for human consumption. But I don't know what the fuck you're doing with it if you're not using it for human consumption. But you used to be able to buy it.
I've never felt anything like that before.
No, nothing like that.
Makes me not want to do anything. Nothing else can supersede that.
How long ago did it happen?
I don't know, around 2 months ago.
Yeah. Did you write down what happened after it happened, or did you record it?
No, I wish I did.
Yeah.
I wish I did.
Yeah, me too. If it goes away like a dream, right?
It comes off, you're so scared. It starts off like this to me, like, no, yeah! That's how I start. No, I don't want to be this. I said, hey, I want this to stop now. And the guy was like, hey, you're on the ride. And I'm like, no, yeah! I love it. Yeah. I love you.
Yeah, you love everybody.
Yeah, so spazzed out.
Yeah. Did you have a hard time letting go?
At the beginning, I was fighting it. I was saying, stop. I wanted to stop now. Just jump. Stop this shit now. Stop. And the guy was like, hey, the show was like, I can't do it. You got to go for the ride, dude. And it was like, oh, man. It's like I'm dying. Things are going on my face. I'm seeing the Aztec things. I'm seeing toads. I'm just seeing weird animals and things. They're just flying. It's like another chamber. It's boom, flashing. Yeah, boom.
Yeah.
And you gone. It's like a rocket. You taking off. Boom.
Yeah, it's beyond your imagination.
Yeah, it's inconceivable. Can't even explain it to no one.
Well, I'm hoping that they start with psilocybin because I know MAPS, they're doing some great work with that, trying to get these things legalized, especially they're doing MDMA studies with veterans and people with PTSD, and they're having great results. They're moving into psilocybin. They would love to get psilocybin legal, and it's up for ballot. I think it was in Oregon. Is that where it is? It's up for. I think Oregon is up for legalization this year, and it may be eventually in California as well. They may.
How you think they're gonna do with that?
It should be legal. It doesn't kill anybody. It should be. It's not a bad thing if they regulate it. If they make it for therapeutic use and just set up centers where experts can show. But they shouldn't make it prohibitive for people to own it or even grow their own. It's not a bad idea to set up places where people can do it under a professional's care, a shaman's care, a physician's care. That's a good idea. But making it illegal is a bad idea because it helps a lot of people. You know, people think of it as a party drug. They think you're going to do mushrooms and freak out and go fucking run around naked and, what's on mushrooms?
I used to do mushrooms. I love mushrooms. I love mushrooms.
Yeah. Well, psilocybin and DMT are very closely related chemically. All those really potent psychedelic drugs are very closely related. They all break down in some similar path inside your brain and give you that weird ego-dissolving experience. You know, that's one thing.
Yeah, most of
Episode number 989. Joe Rogan and Dorian Yates discuss DMT, ayahuasca, and the idea that reality might be a simulation.
Now, speaking of smoking good stuff, how did you find out about DMT and how did you get involved? Because I read something about you having these positive DMT experiences. I'm like, wow, how strange is it reading about, you know, this massive bodybuilder now getting into psychedelic drugs?
Well,
and speaking openly about it.
Yeah, first time I did ayahuasca was in Brazil. I met my wife who was outside. She lived in Brazil, so we went out to the Amazon. But this was like 10 years ago, you know? So people weren't really, not like now, people know what ayahuasca is because there's so much information out there, yourself talking about it, I'm talking about it. It's a ton of stuff on the internet. Wasn't so much then, but I heard about it. And I heard about it, it's this life-changing experience and all that stuff. So we were out in Brazil, and we got this guide, and I asked him for ayahuasca, and he's like, bring me these 2 bottles of brown stuff. I don't even know to this day if it was really ayahuasca, but I just got really sick and didn't see any great revelations apart from I got this thing in my head, stop poisoning yourself. But the night before, I'd been out drinking, getting drunk and everything. You know, that was my experience with that. Then a friend of mine out here in California, actually, I knew about DMT. I used to live in Amsterdam, and like I read the DMT spirit molecule and all that stuff. So I knew about it, but I had no idea to get this stuff or where you can get it from and everything. So a friend of mine got it, and that was my, you know, first experience of like leaving the room, so to speak, and
leaving the planet.
And then since then, I had some very positive ayahuasca experiences, but with a shaman and doing properly and preparing like 5 days of, you know, restricted diet and no sex and all these kind of things you do to prepare and also afterwards. So DMT is like blow the fucking doors off your perception and realize that this world we're in is like, you know, it's nothing, it's just a little illusion, right? There's so much more outside of it. So there was that, but with the DMT, I think it's like you got a computer with like so much storage space, and you got it's like 1,000 times more than you can retain. So you see all this stuff, and while you're there, you're like, ha ha ha, I know everything. Oh yes, but when you come back, how much of it can you hold on to? You know,
Right.
So you've seen it, and that's like makes you look at everything differently. But the ayahuasca is over hours, so I feel like from the ayahuasca I actually benefited more. It was like going through therapy or something because it was much slower and I could digest it, you know.
Right.
So, but doing it with the shaman, I did it with a guy called Guillermo Avarello, and he's one of the top guys in the world from Peru. He comes to Spain a couple of times a year, so I did it with him. And yeah, it's probably, I don't know, it's probably 2 or 3 years since I did DMT because I sat down one day and I said, right, actually I fasted for 2 days before, so I'll be like just in the zone. And I said, right, I'm going to sit down. I got my DMT here. I got my vaporizer here. I'm going to fucking smoke as much DMT as I possibly can till I till I go on and pass out. So I had that experience, and since then I don't feel any need to do it. I don't think there's anything more I can take from it, you know?
I've had many people tell me the same thing. They had such a profound breakthrough experience that they're like, okay, I get it.
Yeah,
I had a crazy one in around 2000, I want to say like 2008 or 9 or something like that. And I took a long time off. I didn't do it again until like 5 years later, maybe.
Yeah, and it's pretty intense, man. I mean, the ayahuasca is nice because it comes in nice and subtle, and you go through hours of this thing. But DMT is like,
last time I did DMT,
and you feel very anxious when you like it's almost like you're leaving your body, and then, no, I don't want to, and, you know.
Yeah.
So you get that bit of anxiety.
But once you go,
it's
okay.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. But
have you done it more than one time in a day, like multiple times in a night?
No, I just, just blasted it as far as I could go, and that was it.
I've done it several times over the course of a few hours, and you're more comfortable letting go that way in some sort of a strange way, but it never gets less alien.
Well, we had I'm not going to mention his name. I don't know his name, but we had an experience, me and my friend, a few months ago that I've never seen before, because usually people take DMT, they're very calm and sit in a chair, and you go off and you might start laughing, but you don't move much, right? And this guy, he just like freaked out, and it wasn't for 10 minutes, but for half an hour. My friend was a former MMA fighter, used to fight with shamrocks, so he knew wrestling techniques, so he had to hold this guy on the floor to stop him from hurting himself, because he was totally freaking out. So I could see the guy was going through something traumatic from the past. So today I messaged him. I was like, hey, did you ever find out what was that? Because he said, yeah, it was from his birth.
What?
It was from his birth. When he was born, he had the cord around his neck.
Oh, Jesus.
And he went back and he relived this, and so that had been in the back of his mind all his life. Subconscious has a huge effect on us, but we don't know it's there. So now he opened that box and let it out, and it's gone now,
Wow.
So it can be therapeutic. Yeah, I thought this guy's like, wow, he's going to be. But when he came back, he was like, hey. I'm like, you good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, do you know what just happened? He's like, no. I said, good thing we filmed it then, man. Go home and watch this.
I had a friend who freaked out, too. He freaked out. He threw up, took his shirt off, was running around saying a bunch of crazy shit. And then after he came down, we calmed him down. It took like 10, 15 minutes. He goes, okay, well, obviously I'm a work in progress. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that statement.
But did he know what it was that was troubling him so much?
No. Well, he had a bad childhood, for sure.
Well, everything is most of our shit is from there, right?
Yeah.
From the developing years.
No, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's, and especially like real traumatic ones, abuse, being beaten by his stepdad, and a bunch of fucked up shit that was just haunting him.
But it helps you to come to terms with that, especially the ayahuasca, because it's longer. I felt like the first time I did ayahuasca properly with a shaman, I felt like I was a different person the next day. I felt it was like I'd done 20 years of fucking therapy or something.
Yeah.
And just a lot of stuff I'd worked out in my mind. I could even see other people's point of view on things and that I couldn't see before. And,
that's huge, right? Seeing other people's point of view, because especially a guy like you who's so determined and goal-oriented and just cut out all the bullshit and get it done.
Yeah, it can be a little insensitive to other people's feelings around you, because you're just like, nothing, keep out my way.
That's a male thing in particular anyway, right? And then
it's like
steroids on top of that.
Yeah.
And bodybuilding and intensity and competition, and then being the best, arguably the best ever, and just fucking grinding every day.
Well, my son said to me a couple of weeks ago, he's like, Dad, you don't see yourself as other people see you. I said, what do you mean? He said, I remember when I was a kid, first of all, the size, it was fucking huge, but it's your persona. You might have said to me something very normal, whatever, what are you doing with a dog? Just something normal. And he said, and I'd be like, oh, because just your presence made me feel like that,
Right. That's got to be weird when you're a little tiny kid and your dad's a gorilla.
Yeah. I remember he did he did kickboxing, right? So he got his black belt when he was about 11 or something like that. And that was my thing. I used to take him to kickboxing and pick him up. And he's like, Dad, can you wait outside? I'm like, what do you mean? You don't want me to come in? And can you just wait outside? I'm like, you don't want me to come? It's like, yeah, but everyone's freaking out and looking at you. And
Well, it's got to be nice
So
now.
I'm like,
to
no,
be
I'm fucking coming inside, man.
semi-anonymous in crowds now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, unless someone's a hardcore bodybuilding fan.
Well, there's the thing. Not necessarily slow because of the interviews I did on London Real, and I talked about ayahuasca and DMT and spirituality and reality and all this stuff. I get so many people coming up to me like they're not from the gym. I get housewives, young kids. Like it's almost like you're the guy from London Real. You're the guy that So I get a whole bunch of other people that appreciate what I'm saying about spirituality, about reality and life, and they're like, fuck man, what you said that really helped me. And I got so many letters, emails and stuff, people, like they just took something away from what I was saying. So I mean that's really why I do these interviews. It's just trying to help the whole general vibe and put it out there. And there's a whole consciousness awakening, a revolution going on now, and I'm just want to push some dominoes, and like create that effect. And then, if you touch one person, they touch somebody else, and it's like, the butterfly wings flap here, and the other side of the world is a,
Yeah, it really
tsunami or something.
It does seem to be working in that regard, right?
It is the time, man. It's the time. There's so many people that are more aware now than like 20 years ago.
Isn't it kind of like, there's parallels to bodybuilding, right? That when Arnold first started doing it, there was very little information, hardly, and you guys got to see what they did and build upon that, and more information came out. And now, because of the internet, there's so much information.
Almost too much information.
People
now
are aware more of what it's all about. Well, with psychedelics, 20, 30 years ago, there's so much ignorance and so little understanding. And also so little understanding, especially when it comes to something as extreme as DMT. There's still a giant percentage of our population doesn't even know what it is.
Yeah, they should all take it, especially the fucking politicians. I like to get those politicians, man, and fucking get them in a room and force them to take DMT and then see how they're going to behave afterwards.
Yeah. How
they're going to look at the world and treat people after they had that experience. I don't think you can be so self-centered and unfeeling as most of them are after you've had that experience.
I think that any breakthrough psychedelic experience, whether it's psilocybin or LSD or DMT, they're
all pretty much,
ego dissolving.
Different road to the same place,
Well, Terence McKenna used to say that DMT is the center of the mandala. The way I describe DMT is it's like mushrooms times 1,000,000 plus aliens.
Yeah.
And that it seems so titanically bizarre that there's I've tried to describe it to people, but I always say, look, I'm going to tell.
I'm going to do it, man.
Yeah, I'm going to give you some bullshit words.
Yeah, you can't really do it because you can't.
There's no way.
We don't have the words,
right,
to put it into words. You can attempt to. I went to this place. Well, it's not a place, but I don't have the word for it.
The place is everywhere.
Yeah, it's like, and there's colors, there's numbers, there's shapes, and
people.
Things, and there's like
gestures.
Everything is all one fucking thing. And what I noticed is like my breath was connected to it. I don't know how it happened, but I was in the trip and I went like that, and the whole thing moved. I was like, really? Let me try this then. And then the whole thing moved, and then there was music playing, and music was part of the thing as well. Like the thing. I don't even know what to call it. The thing, the place. I don't have a word,
We played a bunch of these shaman Icaros. And the shaman Icaro, this is the last time I did it. And the shaman Icaros literally made the DMT images dance.
Yeah.
Like they had figured out a way with these sounds and songs to integrate these beats into DMT trips. And as you would take these trips, these shamans had figured out the right sounds and songs and how to make the trip more intense and sort of guide it in a strange way.
Well, that's what I had with the shaman with the ayahuasca. He comes around and he sings these acaros, and then it's like changes tone, and then it goes deeper bass in his chest, and it's like it becomes part of it, And I was even moving involuntarily. My arms was going up, my body was moving, and it's like, I'm not doing this. I don't even know how it's happening. It's like somebody's picking my arms up and moving. I was, started dancing around with this, becoming part of this rhythm.
Wow. I had experience once, one of the first times I ever did DMT, where I saw the difference between negative and positive thinking. Like I started thinking negative, and there was all this black and dark green and like these threatening shapes and colors. And then something recognized what was going on in my brain, that these shapes and images were connected to negative thinking, and I relaxed, and the shapes kind of like settled down, and then I started thinking positive. Like I heard all these like expressions of love, but like you're hearing it, but you're not really hearing it. It's like the thoughts are getting into your head, like someone's trying to say it without using words. And then I started thinking positive, and from those dark images blossomed these like beautiful like geometric flowers and colors and impossibly spectacularly beautiful images. And I was like, oh, and I recognized in my mind there's an actual thing that happens when you think negatively, and it's not just some sort of an abstract
everything.
idea.
You affect the program.
Yes.
You're in a program, and your thoughts, the program's coming towards you, and your thoughts are going, and it's interacting with the program, you know?
And that's why conflict, like interpersonal conflict between people, can be so negative. It's not just as simple as you and some person getting into an argument. It's those dark images and those negative forces. It becomes a part of your system.
I had exactly the same thing. So, but it was almost like a tunnel. I was in this tunnel, and it was the same thing. It was like, ugh, like all these images around and scary and everything. And I was like, instinctively, I knew to be very relaxed.
Yeah.
And I started laughing like, fuck you. You're not even real. You're not even real. And when I said that, it went away, and I just got this thing that came into my head. You've just been in the valley, what's it called? The valley of the shadow of death. It's in the Lord's Prayer, I think. Yeah, though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we should fear no evil, because God's by the side.
Right.
I vaguely remember it from school or something. But I got this thing that you were there, and you're in the valley of the shadow of death, and because you like, fuck you, like, it's not even real. It just disappeared, and then I went to somewhere really nice.
Wow. Yeah, I just wonder how much is real. You know, it's such a hippie thing to say. Like, how much is real? I don't know. You know, I've been having these thoughts a lot lately. Like, how much of life do you manifest? How much of life is real? Because it's such a bullshit thing to think. It's such a hippie thing to think. And so many people that say that are so annoying.
Yeah, but scientists are saying the same thing now.
Yeah, well,
Quantum physicists are saying, who was it? I think his name's Professor Gates. I don't know if you're familiar with him. Professor Gates, and he said that they've broken down reality into the smallest level, and it's a computer code.
Yes, I've seen that guy.
Not only is it a computer code, it's a specific computer code of zeros and ones, and it was invented in the 1940s by somebody.
Yeah, I've seen that guy being interviewed. We actually talked about it with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I tried to get him to sort of break it down and explain. But what it is essentially that when you break reality down to the smallest level, it mimics a self-correcting computer code. Not just a computer code, but a computer code that's self-correcting, which is right there. I just said a bunch of noises that I don't even understand. Yeah. You know, it's gone beyond my.
But now you're getting spirituality and science.
Right.
It's coming together because the scientists are saying what spiritual masters. Well, they're already telling us that we live in an illusion and everything is inside, not outside. They were saying that thousands of years ago.
But now some of it is real. Like, you have to work hard or you don't get results.
Yeah.
Right? Like, your hard, fast, pragmatic reality of being the best bodybuilder in the world, it revolves around actual work, real results.
In this reality, in this program.
But also
you need to do physical stuff, yeah.
Probably there was a lot of mental shit going on there too.
Absolutely.
The work was being done, but also there was probably a lot
thoughts all day. I mean, that's all I thought about, literally all fucking day. So, you know, I had to have the physical goods to make it happen. I could dream about being a basketball player all day. Probably wouldn't help me because I'm not built to be a basketball player. But those thoughts were just going out all the time. And I was a kid in Birmingham, industrial city in England, and I was thinking, I'm going to go to America and I'm going to be a bodybuilder, and everyone around me was like, the fuck you talking about? So yeah, there was those thoughts all the time. So I think it's like a holographic program we're in, but we influence it, we interact with it with our thoughts. That's kind of where I'm getting at now.
Yes, in some way.
Episode number 1747, Blair White shares with Joe Rogan how a DMT trip meeting mysterious elves taught her to take life less seriously.
But this is another one of the really big realizations I had doing DMT. So we should talk about that.
Okay.
So since doing DMT, which I did it 2 weeks ago, I did it twice in 2 weeks, I had this like overwhelming sense of like, some people do DMT and then they start seeing people as NPCs. I've heard that talked about. Like they start seeing people as like, these are not real people with souls, and like, that's strange to me.
Who said that?
I see it all the time. People's like, I've had friends that do it and they start seeing people as NPCs based on what kind of trip they had. Like if they saw the elves or didn't, if they just saw cool colors or didn't. And for me,
Wait a minute. So you're saying that if people have a DMT trip and they didn't see the elves, and they think of that person who had that DMT trip as an NPC?
As like an NPC, like you don't have like a soul because you didn't really connect with like any beings. You just saw pretty colors, like you had a very simple experience. You know what I mean? But I had the opposite from after doing DMT. I see so much more humanity in everyone I'm around. Like I feel very changed after doing DMT. It's a very profound experience. And like I'm just noticing more things about people. I'm being more aware of like their body language when they talk to me. And I think it was a very positive thing doing DMT. And my experience was the closest thing to a spiritual experience I've ever had, because I've never been a person that's been terribly connected to like anything larger than me. I'd never been religious, never been spiritual. And I'd say it was the closest to like a spiritual thing for me.
I think it is a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
I think it's an undeniably spiritual thing. That's the thing about it, is like it forces you to think about love and connection and the bonds that people have with each other in a way that you don't get from anything else. The powerful experience of a transcendent psychedelic moment is it's not like anything else you experience in life other than maybe like a near-death experience.
Yeah.
But you could argue that they're the same thing. I know people that have had near-death experiences that swear that it was like a DMT trip.
I'm sure. And I don't think it's confirmed, but people say that it's what happens when you legally die or medically die. It's like you have a DMT trip.
Yeah,
and
it's not
I could see that.
But it's not confirmed, but there's a lot of there's a lot of evidence that points to that.
I could see that. And it in a way made me like less fearful of death, because I was like, if this is what happens at the end, it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it going out like that. Like you just get this, for me at least, when I first was hitting it, and then like you start to leave the planet, I felt like this intense like set of rings going around my body, like of just warmth and like happiness and love. And then all of a sudden I'm like in space. And I did see an elf, which is what people call them. There's
What'd they look like?
Kind of like a court jester, and it had like slinky long arms. And it sounds like crackhead shit if you've never done DMT.
I know
not
bunch
to
of court
you,
jesters
but
too.
a lot of people have a shared like physical description of what these things look like.
One of my most profound experiences, there was a bunch of court jesters give me the finger.
Just flipping you off.
They're like, fuck you, like openly mocking me. And I was like, what?
Killing your ego.
I realized I take myself too seriously. Like as they were doing it, I was like, I know what you're saying. And they went like this. Like
chill out.
That's it. I got it. Like while they were doing it, I was like, oh, I get it. And they're like, mm-hmm.
That's the thing, is like a common experience, people who meet the elves or the jesters, whatever you want to call them, they have like something to like teach you.
Yeah.
So for me, it was kind of similar to learning not to take myself seriously, but it was more so, don't take life so fucking seriously.
Right.
Trust the process of life, because I'm someone who, even though I like to think I have my life pretty together, I still worry about everything so much all the time. I'm always stressed out. And the elf was telling me, like, does everything have to be a fight, Blair? Is everything a war?
Whoa.
Are you worried about everything? Like, kind of clowning me a little bit, literally, because it's kind of clownish. Like, really? Is everything that serious?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'll just chill out. Yeah. It was like that simple. I was like, okay, I'll chill.
It's good that you can grasp that and have that experience and learn from it, because a lot of people can't, and that's when they have bad trips, because they try to fight it and they try to resist. No, I'm not fighting anything, and then all of a sudden you're in this fucking death spiral.
That was my mistake with shrooms. I did shrooms about a year ago. It was actually when I was evacuating LA because of the riots. Went up with some friends in the mountains. Let's do shrooms. And it was my first time doing it. And the person who was supplying said shrooms basically gave me a huge plate like this big, stacked it, covered it in shrooms, and said, eat all of them, which is very irresponsible for someone's first
grams?
time. I don't know. I just know it was a plate covered in shrooms.
Show me the size of the plate. Give me an example. Oh my God. So this is
it was like a dinner plate.
Like when you go to like Ruth's Chris and have a steak.
Yes. Yes. But it was shrooms. And I have never done shrooms in my life. I had no, because until you do a psychedelic, you have no concept of a psychedelic.
Right.
Like weed isn't anything close to it, not even the same planet. So I ate all of it. We walked down to the water, and then the whole world changed. But the difference between shrooms and DMT is like, to me, with shrooms, you're still on Earth, even though Earth's heavily distorted and.
That's because you have your eyes open and you're walking around.
That's true. DMT, you leave Earth.
If you were in silent darkness, if you were alone by yourself in the dark and you were laying down on mushrooms and you just closed your eyes, it'd be very similar.
Oh, okay. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
We were walking around, and there's something about doing it. Like, we were in this neighborhood in Big Bear with all these like cabins, and like I started getting so freaked out that everyone was just watching from their houses, and it was me and 5 people. And so we were all tripping, walking back to the cabin from the water, holding hands, and walking slowly. Like,
oh my God.
And I was like, are people looking? Are people looking?
They probably are. Look at these freaks holding hands.
No, yeah, for
tripping
sure.
balls.
And we were all like social media people or whatever. We were like, people are going to film this. It's going to be on YouTube tomorrow.
Wow. Be fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been ashamed.
It's not the best idea to do that publicly. A lot of people wind up doing that. They do it publicly and they trip balls and they walk around. But
or to eat a whole fucking plate.
Yeah.
I should have had one little shroom.
That's a good way to start.
Yeah.
A good way to start is like one, and you get like a little feeling, maybe like a gram, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Before you want to get into like the 3 to 5 gram, like yikes.
I think it's also very important to do it when you're maybe in a good place in life. Like I would never want to do it if I was in a bad place. Like when I did shrooms, half of my trip was really, really scary and really bad because I was in a bad mindset. Like LA was on fire. I was escaping. I felt unsure about the world. Right before we tripped, it was like a news report, like Trump going into a bunker as protesters ascend upon the White House. And I was like, let me escape this. I don't think it's good to use it like as escapism, shrooms.
Did Trump have to go to a bunker? Is that real?
I think he denied it after that, but I remember in DC when it was the riots happening, and I think they moved Trump to a safe place. I'm sure he would deny it, but when I did DMT, I did it very recently, and I'm in like one of the best places of my life recently. Like I'm in a new city that I'm actually really enjoying, even though it was a tough transition at first. Been through a couple of those. But I'm just very happy, so I wasn't escaping anything. I was like, teach me what you have to teach me.
Right.
Yeah. And then the second time I went even farther. But
it's very bizarre that it's so there. It's so easy to get to. It's just 15 seconds away. It's one of the most insane experiences that a human being could possibly encounter.
Yeah.
If there was a thing that you could, like a ride at Disneyland, it would be a mile long line to get into that fucking thing.
Right.
Everybody would be like, oh, I want to go on that ride.
Right.
Because it's so fucking crazy.
Yeah. And just the fact that, I don't know. So I had a lot of resistance towards ever trying psychedelics for a while because I did grow up in a household where everyone was addicted to drugs, and my brother was in prison for selling drugs and heroin and all that kind of shit, right? So I was like, I'm never going to do a drug. But then like, I just see psychedelics a bit different. It's not meth. It's not any of that shit. It's different.
They are very, very, very different.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing. And like, it's really hard to even articulate what the trip is with DMT specifically without ever doing it. So like, people were telling me about the elves, and I was like, y'all are crackheads. Don't tell me about some fucking elves I'm about to meet.
The problem with the term drug is it's a blanket term that you could use for caffeine, you use for nicotine, you use for alcohol. Yeah, there's a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
Adrenaline's a drug. You know.
While I'm sure it's possible, I can't imagine after now doing DMT twice, I can't imagine someone becoming like addicted to it.
Oh, I wouldn't know about that. I know a guy who was a tattoo artist that was doing DMT every fucking day, multiple times a day. And then finally the entities had to sit him down and go, hey, motherfucker,
chill.
Stop. Like, you're going to lose your grip on this world.
Wow.
Yeah. They literally told him to stop doing it, he said.
See, it's such an intense experience for me that I couldn't imagine wanting that every day. It's kind of like I did it and I'm good for a while.
This guy's an intense guy.
That's fucking nuts.
He's a wild dude. He's an artist who does biomech tattoos. You know that biomech type of art? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Biomech. See if you can Google like biomech art. My buddy has a sleeve done by this dude. His art's incredible.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
But his is more like that, exactly like that. So it's like almost like alien.
That's cool.
Yeah, like that kind of shit. That's a certain style of tattooing called biomech, and this dude was he is still elite at it.
That's a cool thing to specialize in, that type of tattoo.
Yeah, that's a little different. That's not quite. That's more like it. That
Wow.
kind of. It's all this weird sort of alien looking, fucking trippy shit.
I would imagine you have to be an intense guy to even know how to do that. So.
Yeah, well, it's also to specialize in that one particular style of art. It's like his vision of life was like all fucked up and distorted and twisted.
One of the people I did DMT with wasn't told to like not do DMT anymore by the elves, but was told like, you don't have to come back anymore, almost in a gentle way. Like we came out of our trips and the friend was like, they told me I don't have to come back anymore. I'm like, how many times have you done it? He's like 9. I'm like, maybe take a break then.
I've done it 9. I've done it more than 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I haven't done it in a couple of years though, so maybe I could get back in there and have a conversation. But like I said, the last time that I did it was probably the most intense and the most weird, because when they were giving me the finger. But it was like, I've never like, but it's just, I think sometimes what people do and what I've certainly done is you protect yourself from criticism, or you protect yourself from your own analysis of your correct and incorrect thoughts and actions by bullshitting yourself. And one of the ways that you realize if you're bullshitting yourself is like, how do you react to satire? How do you react to being mocked? How do you react to people not taking you seriously? Do you go, that's their prerogative, good luck? Or do you go, fuck them, I'm going to fucking make a response video. Whoa.
Right.
And the aliens, or the whatever they were, the jesters, and they all had the little bells, the little hats with the bells.
Yeah, it's so crazy. They look like little courtyard.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
But they were going like this, fuck you, and they were like
hilarious.
Openly mocking me, and my initial response was, hey, and then I realized like, oh, and they were like, that's it, you got it. I was like,
they're
all right,
kind of sarcastic.
Oh yeah, well they know your bullshit, they know all of your nonsense, they know all of your thoughts, they know, I mean, whatever the fuck they are, whether they're a part of your consciousness or whether these are intelligent entities in another dimension that you're interacting with.
See, that is what I've been questioning since doing this. So I was told by a friend who's done DMT a lot that after you do DMT, pay attention to the real world. And if you believe that the elves are real beings that are independent of something created in your own brain due to the DMT, they'll like send you a sign, right? And I was like, again, crackhead shit. No, I'm not going to meet the elves in real life, right?
Right.
So one of the things in my first trip that they kept telling me was, this is not the end. This is not the end. They kept telling me that because I think I was asking them, like, is this what happens when you die? Like, what is this? They said the phrase, this is not the end, multiple times. Directly after the trip, we go to a restaurant. And I wasn't liking the energy. Like, there's like a glow after you do DMT that you kind of want to maintain. And I didn't like the energy in the first restaurant. So I was like, let's leave. Went to another restaurant.
What was wrong with the energy?
The people were just weird. I don't know. It's like you create like a bubble when you do it with like friends and you're like, I don't like what they might do to our bubble. So then we go to another restaurant and there's a huge sign that just says, this is not the end on the thing. And I'm like,
whoa,
what? And then I looked at my friend who told me to look for signs and he's like, told ya.
Whoa.
So I'm like, I mean, I'm not saying that I think that they really are beings. I'm gone back and forth between that.
Episode 2135. Neil Brennan recalls his intense DMT trip, feeling trapped in God's imagination before finding healing through ayahuasca and MDMA. Episode 552. Kid Cudi recalls the moment DMT completely changed his surroundings, a trip so vivid he couldn't tell what was real anymore.
Even the regular DMT trips I've had, they're intensely self-examinatory.
Yeah.
Like the insight that you have into your own life and your own world, your own mind is just it's scary because it's
awesome.
so clear. The clarity is so bizarre.
Yeah, it freaked me out, man. I'm I'm not gonna lie, and I've done my fair share of acid. I'm big on psychedelics and
DMT, some next level shit.
Yeah, but I've had nothing like this, and you try to explain it and you can't, because there's nothing you can't find the words to explain sometimes what you see. And you're a little bit more educated about it than I am. You could probably find the words, Like sometimes you fucking talk like a scientist and shit. I'm like following, like, but
It's bullshitting, trust me.
But at the same time, like for people that might not be educated, it's still hard for me to, put into words what I saw. But the reality is what you're seeing is everything literally melt down and deconstruct and reconstruct around you, and your eyes are wide open. And it literally, for me, that was the only thing that freaked me out. The fact that my eyes weren't closed, but my environment was completely altered immediately, almost before I could even exhale all the smoke, before I was even leaning back on my couch. I mean, the room rearranged itself and became something else. And I felt happy.
Graham Hancock has a very fascinating way of looking at it. And what he thinks, the way he described it to me, I never heard anybody describe it this way before, but it made total sense. He said, everyone says you're taking drugs and it's distorting your perception of reality, and that's what you're saying. He goes, that is a possibility. Another possibility is that, like a telescope needs to be tuned in to see a far-off star, that what you're doing by taking this chemical that your brain already makes, you're tuning in to something that's ordinarily impossible for you to see. And that there is this dimension that is around you all the time. And it is filled with intelligent entities. And he said, we must consider that is also a possibility. And that is a fascinating way of looking at it. Because we really don't know what's happening. And the people that aren't blown away by it are just the people who haven't done it.
Yeah.
If you've done it and you're not blown away by it, I don't understand you.
Yeah.
There's also supposedly some people who don't have a reaction to DMT. There's a small percentage of people that try it where nothing happens.
I've tried. I went 2 separate occasions where first time it didn't work for me, and then the second time it did.
Was the first time bad stuff, or did you not
I think the
smoke
first time
enough?
we didn't administer it right, and then the second time it was done right.
And the second time it was.
Second time was like, because also I hit it extra hard because I was like, there ain't no mistake, it's gonna work this time. So I had this really man,
you know what's
shit was crazy.
Episode number 1284. Joe Rogan and Graham Hancock discuss a study aiming to keep people in the DMT realm to explore. Episode number 1093. Joe Rogan shares his intense DMT trip, seeing multidimensional beings, and discussing consciousness and the mystery of the pineal gland.
Yeah, like if this was like on a spaceship, you would think it would be like that. Look at that. If that was on a spaceship, etched into the side of the spaceship, you'd be like, holy shit, it's a fucking alien language. Look, I mean, I don't know what any of those things are. I don't know what one of those numbers is. I don't know what the fuck those words are, those letters. That's an alien language. That's, to me, almost more alien than a lot of Asian languages. That looks crazy.
Well, that's a reason to kind of doubt that somebody's translating it right. Like it's just like, oh, you looked at that gibberish and you saw that.
Well, scholars, the whole thing with that is that these ancient languages, like all these stories came from these ancient languages. Like if you go way, way, way back to ancient Sumer, like the Epic of Gilgamesh, there's all these Noah's Ark similarities. It's all there's a lot of stuff in all these ancient stories. It's all probably points to some real shit that happened.
For sure.
But along the way, just like what you're talking about with social justice warriors and how they behave like it's a religion, there's like a natural compulsion for people to be on a group and have that group have a very clear ideology.
People have to work their way up to atheism if they want it, because that's like almost a luxury, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And I don't know how to just, but I'll tell you what, I will say the DMT shit, I did get like more of a, there's more than this.
There's something else there.
And it's crazy. Because I read about that shit in high school. I read some article about that guy that is the big DMT guy.
Terrence McKenna?
Yeah, because I think he projects a lot of his own horseshit into it. But that stuff.
That
the
McKenna
feeling,
does, or the
McKenna just let me tell you, when I never felt a thing that felt so much like not making me hallucinate, but like it was taking away a hallucination.
Yes.
And that is there's something so terrifying about that, but it's also like, wow, that's great. Like, and you feel like there has to be, just based on the shit you would see, even if it's just shit in your head. You're like, why would that even be in my head?
It's entirely possible that whatever the fuck consciousness is can pass from this stage into another stage. And the only reason why I would hesitate to say that's exactly what happens is because there's no proof one way or another. But it's
all that pineal gland shit is not proven. They don't know that DMT comes in.
I can't handle anymore.
They do now. Yeah, they do now.
Really?
The Cottonwood Research Foundation, they did a series of tests with rats, and they proved that live rats have DMT produced by the pineal gland.
Really?
Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that humans do too, but they're pretty sure they do.
Did you
They also know that your lungs produce it and your liver produces it. That's a fact.
Really?
So your body's producing DMT, 100%.
Did you know that, or did you like those H.P. Lovecraft kind of horror stories?
Oh, I love those things.
And there's a movie made out of one of them. It's all about his pineal gland. He's taking something that makes his pineal gland swell up.
Which one is that? What movie is that?
It stars the guy from Reanimator, but it's not Reanimator.
I'm feeling it now. I kind of remember what you're talking
But
about.
I'll tell you the thing is DMT is the creep. I still think creepy because it's totally worth doing. But the thing that's, whatever people say they meet entities, right? But I don't know if that shit is meeting entity. But I'll tell you the thing that just sticks with me that I'm like, how in the fuck is that possible? Is the shapes that I could see, where I was well aware that they were a bit more than 3-dimensional shapes. And it's so crazy to look at that and perceive it. And I'm like, how on earth could I perceive this shape? And when I can't, and you can't come back with it, like, you know what I mean?
Well, you know
like
how you see it though in someone's art? Like, have you ever seen Alex Gray's art?
Yeah,
you see
it's
it?
awesome.
No.
You haven't seen it?
No, what is that?
Pull up Alex Gray. He's a psychedelic artist. I mean, all of his stuff is basically tryptamine-based art.
And is it going to not be horseshit? Because sometimes they're horseshit.
No. He's brilliant. His stuff's fucking...
Because that is something.
His stuff's fucking amazing.
Tool.
Yeah, that thing.
It's for Tool.
Yeah, but that's one of them. But he draws the covers for Tool albums. There's a ton of them, like that one. That one in specific. That is DMT.
That's very DMT.
That is DMT.
Wow, that is hardcore DMT.
Hardcore DMT. When you do DMT, you see that. And you see that in a way where it's so much more spectacular than anything you ever see under normal consciousness.
Is your body there? Like, are you
it's
like...
not a body thing. You're not thinking of
but
your eyes are closed.
I mean, I'm myself.
Yeah, you're yourself.
Like, you look around?
You're yourself,
dude,
but
if you
you're
open
very
your eyes,
vulnerable.
here's what's crazy. So if you close your eyes, it's like they're open somewhere else. And then when you open your eyes, you see reality overlaid over this.
Tell me this one didn't influence the Egyptians. Click on the one your cursor's on.
No,
tell me that didn't influence the Egyptians.
What, this painting or the?
No, these kind of tryptamine
well, did they have that,
images.
Did they have DMT?
100%. Yeah, there was one of the things that John Anthony West did was he was going over the temple in Man.
Yeah.
The temple in Man is one of the structures. It's in Egypt. Mm-hmm. And it shows different parts of it are supposed to represent different corridors of the body, like different chakras of the body. Uh-huh. And that there was some evidence that the eye of Horus is really the pineal gland.
Oh, really?
And that's what that symbol is. Like, see if Google pineal gland eye of Horus. They think that they're so similar in the way they're shaped. It's entirely possible that that's what it's a very alternative thing. But look how it looks, how the thing looks on the right, the actual pineal gland, and look at the eye on the left.
Whoa.
Yeah. See that wing off the side and the way it drops down right from the eyeball? Boy, that's fucking similar. It's entirely possible that they figured that out somewhere along the line, that through yogic breathing methods or some sort of psychedelic drugs they found, that they were achieving a hallucinogenic state. And they were able to somehow or another isolate where that state is being initiated. And if it's being initiated endogenously by your body, like through psychedelic breathing, that's probably where it's being produced.
Now, listen, I don't want to sound like an Amy Schumer defender, but that looked coincidental to me.
Yeah, it could be.
Parallel thought.
It could be.
I think certain patterns repeat
close.
over and over again.
But that pattern is pretty fucking close. You might be right. It might be coincidental. But the fact that a straight line drops down right before the eye showed again, The straight line drops down right below the
But
eye.
they didn't know
and
what
then
the
other thing
fucking
hooks
brain
to the
did in
left.
Egypt. That's the
No,
thing.
they did surgery on people in Egypt.
Yeah, but
Let's
I thought.
see, look at the thing on the right.
First of all, I thought Egypt thought the mind was in the heart, and that's why they pulled the useless brain out through the nose when they mummified you. Like you're
How do we
telling
know
me
their intent? You know what I mean? Like how do
because
we
the embalming techniques.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean they didn't respect the
stuff you
brain.
kept. No, they didn't. Look.
Well, I'm
look it
sure
up.
they didn't know everything about the human body the way
That's
people
what I'm
know
saying.
today.
Why would they attach significance to something in the brain if they don't think that's
Because
where...
I think through psychedelic drugs. I think when they were doing these heavy psychedelic drugs, which, by the way, were absolutely being used by then by tons of cultures.
Well, that I could believe. But
Tons
that I
of
could
cultures.
believe. Listen, because this is the thing where that really blew my mind because I was looking.
You don't want to even believe rumors. That's what's going on again.
No, I looked. Do you ever look at somebody while you're
You
on
won't be
DMT,
tricked
like you
again.
smoke it?
No, I've always kept my eyes closed.
Okay, well,
the
I
Who.
did
I
that
won't be
2 times.
fooled
Closed my
again.
eyes, and 1 time opened my eyes and looked at somebody, and they had 6 arms like a Hindu.
Yeah, somebody else
And
was just saying
I might have
this.
been telling you this at the
You
comedy store.
told me at the green room.
What
of
is
the belly
your
room.
time perception gets broken
Yeah.
down, and that's the craziness. And so then motion looks like sick,
like
but it,
like Shiva.
it looked like a Hindu thing, and I'm like,
Yeah,
wow. I
that's
imagine
where it
being on that
comes from.
stuff, and you see
Yeah.
something. I mean, that looked to me so much like a vision from DMT.
Yeah.
Those 6-arm kind of gods.
Well, dude, I collect that kind of art, like Buddhas and shit like that, like this kind of shit, because I saw this. I saw this image, this
No.
exact image. I mean, this has a third eye and everything. A
Right.
sculptor made this for me. I don't remember homeboy's
Really?
name. Yeah, I wish I could remember it right now, but I don't. But yeah, sculptor made that for me based on this vision that I had high on DMT. I saw an infinite number of those.
Really?
I saw one hovering here, and then in every direction out from him, there was an infinite number of those, and they were all hovering and vibrating around me.
So it's like
Wow.
fractal. Is it like fractal?
Oh, it's 100% fractal.
What do you
it's
think-
geometric.
What do you think? What do you think? Having done it, like, what do you think? Like, what do you think now of DMT after? I think I saw just a couple things, but I don't know how long ago they were of you talking about it with people. But what's your opinion of it now? As like, what you're seeing.
Well, it could be anything. I mean,
Yeah.
it definitely could be some sort of an insane hijacking of your sensory nervous system, and
Right.
it produces this spectacular psychedelic effect that's so profound, this hallucinogenic effect that's so profound that it literally is like a transcendent experience and changes your life. It's
It
totally
felt like
possible.
that to me.
It's totally possible that it's just a chemical thing. What's also
But that
possible,
also-
what's also
yeah.
possible is that life itself, that whatever
Yeah.
the fuck life is, and especially whatever the fuck intelligent life is not understood. What consciousness is not understood. And this idea that things can only exist in this realm, that's not proven. Also the fact that when those quantum physicist guys start breaking down the nature of reality and they come up with, I don't know how the fuck they do this, I'm just talking out of my ass, but they come up with the idea that there's 11 dimensions.
Right.
And that they literally, I mean, and this is all changing and constantly evolving and moving, and they're constantly adding to this. It is entirely possible that there's a bunch of other shit that's around us all the time that's just not here, and we
Yeah,
don't
of
have
course.
access to it. And when you do DMT, whomp, you go into that other place.
That's
It's
what's so
entirely
fucking
possible.
unsettling, dude. It's like it's not like you're going. It's like the shit's here.
Well,
And-
that's why you, as
Yeah.
a skeptic, it's very important to hear from you. Like a guy
Oh,
like
it felt,
you.
yeah. I'll tell you what, because I drew a shitty diagram of it. But this is what I felt. This is what it feels like if you ever do it. Like this little point. Let's say this little point is you. This is what I
Right.
felt like. And these lines I drew, that's like space. And you're this little point that gets stabbed into space time. And all this shit. This is all the shit that makes you. Like it forms a point. It's like closing your eyes and looking at all of this shit
All the
that's
It's like a
being
cross section of
Yeah.
your being.
like everything being focused into making. If you could like just reverse look at it,
Dude,
it feels
I always,
like that.
I
So
always
it's-
feel like it's lessons. I always feel like it's lessons. I always feel
Yeah,
like it's
right.
time to go to school. Sit down. Here's what's going on. One of the last ones, more profound ones, was a bunch of jesters that were all giving me the finger.
Really?
They were all circling around me like, give me the finger.
They're like, who
fuck
who named you?
That
the
was
joke
Twitter.
police?
No, you know
trying
what?
to teach you
it's-
about Twitter.
It's teaching if you're tense, and if
60
you're
Jeselniks,
reacting
all.
negatively to this
Right.
jester giving you the finger, like how do you feel of yourself? Are you in a constant defensive mode? And then when I sort
Right.
of relaxed myself, they started wagging their finger back and forth, like, "Yep, that's it, that's
Wow,
it."
that's
It was
cool.
very, very strange. These things that you see but you can't define are constantly changing. So if you try to like say,
Right.
"Oh, it looked like a jester," it probably did for a few seconds. For a few seconds, it looked like a jester, and then it imploded and became stars, and then it sucked in and became geometric patterns, and then became neon-colored worms that were making love to each other in a giant infinite bundle of yarn. Like, it becomes weirder and weirder shit all the time.
Is it hard to remember when you're done?
It's almost impossible. Even me saying it, I'm kind of full of shit. I'm kind of full of shit because I don't totally remember what I saw. I remember what I remember to write down. I remember what I repeated. So I'm like going back on like my repeated versions of what I saw. But I remember like flashes of the intense, profound nature of the experience.
Is there emotions to it? Like it's unraveling.
Dude. And when I came out of it the first time, this was on New Year's the first time I did it. And I fucking, I guess I was like weeping. But when I came out of it, because you just suddenly are awake, and I had like, but I was so out of it, it was like not, I went from weeping to like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, right. And because I had been staring at some crazy thing that would like look so beautiful to me. But it was like that, it was like coming out of a dream, I guess, almost.
What's that McKenna quote that I think what I'd be scared of is unearned wisdom? I think McKenna said something like, be wary of unearned wisdom, where I don't know if I can handle looking at something that intense.
I was really in a low feeling state when I did it, and I didn't give a fuck, so I wanted to do it.
You pick up the slack. You know, that unearned wisdom thing, I think I know what he's saying, and I think there's a real problem with people acting profound when they just learned something an hour ago.
Are you saying I'm not a shaman?
No. But
I'm not a qualified shaman
There's
now?
a thing that people enjoy doing, and it's like jizzing out their knowledge.
Yeah.
You know? And a lot of that is unearned knowledge. Like, there's a lot of people that don't really have a full, including me. I've done it many times.
My mind balls are so full.
Not having a full understanding of the topic at hand.
Life
and
jizz.
you just jizz it out.
Yeah,
jizz it, man.
But look, for sure, you learn a lot about yourself when you do those experiences. I learned a lot about myself. Learned a lot about how I interact with people. I saw negative thoughts like expressed as like this dark green and black, like twisted sort of pattern. And then when my thoughts went positive, it blossomed like the most beautiful flowers you can imagine. It was crazy. It was literally a lesson in thinking toxically. And then, and this is probably like 2008-ish, somewhere around then. That was this particular experience that literally changed who I am. Literally changed how I talk to people, literally changed how I feel about people. Yeah. Watching a negative thought being expressed as this dark pattern, and then the positive thought, I just let it go like, oh, I see, I'm doing it to myself, and then boom.
Right, yeah.
And then you just relax and enjoy, like, this is so beautiful. And because you're looking at something so beautiful, that feeling of seeing beauty makes it more beautiful, and it's just getting more, and like tears are rolling down my eyes. It was a stunning experience.
Dude, honest to God, it's easier to do that now besides that, but I know what you mean. Like,
I wish I could remember seeing it, though. I remember it happened, and I remember the dark green and black, but I remember so little of what I actually saw. It's a total recreation in my mind. Yeah. Which is a real problem with memory. It's a real problem with regular memory. Forget about something as spectacularly unique and odd as a psychedelic experience. But just regular memory. I mean, I try to think of what I did yesterday. I know what I did.
Did you ever get the information like the last time I did it? This is what really blew me away, is because my girlfriend was saying I won't forget. And by the way, I forgot immediately.
It's like a joke. When you think of a joke, you have to write it down.
You're supposed to talk into a microphone, like talk into a recorder, like right away when you get out, and then try to decipher that.
Mostly I feel like I can't talk. I mean, usually I feel like I can't talk. But
as soon as you can, though, what you should do is just use the voice app on your phone, and as soon as you can talk, hit record and just ramble. First of all, you're going to go, oh my God, I'm a fucking moron. Because it's going to sound, if you're sober, it's going to sound stupid. Dude,
that's my favorite. Like, ayahuasca, it's an inner journey and battle. Like, on the inside. On the outside, you're just puking and projectile shit. Gibbering like an idiot.
That's a metaphor for Twitter.
Episode number 1121. Michael Pollan shares his 5-MeO DMT trip as Joe Rogan recalls meeting strange DMT entities.
Did you have a dumb moment?
I had a lot of insights. I don't know if I did actually.
How many different trips did you have while you're doing this?
I had 6 or 7. I did two psilocybin trips, one guided, one not, an LSD trip guided, a couple ayahuasca circles, and then I had a really weird psychedelic called 5-MeO DMT, which is the smoked venom of the Sonoran desert toad. Who figured that out? Should get some kind of prize. But
that's a pretty pretty potent one.
Very potent, and thank God, short-acting. Short-lived. It was actually a horrible experience. That
really?
was my worst. Yeah.
I had a great experience on
You
it.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what was wrong with it?
So you take like one puff, and before you exhale, there's a synthetic version too, right? I was taking the venom. You're shot out of a cannon. There's no lead up. It's no warm up. It's like, boom. And I felt like I was actually like strapped to the outside of a rocket, going through space and through clouds, and like the G-forces pulling down my cheeks. And it was just this mental storm without nothing to orient myself. There was no space. There was no time. There was no self. And it was just unendurable, this punishing roar in my ears. And someone who had done it said eventually it's like a takeoff and you get into orbit, and it's very nice at that point. But what happened with me is I had the storm. I mean, I felt like it was like the metaphor I use in the book is like, I said, I can't explain this. You can't tell a story without place, time, and character, right? I had none of those.
Right.
It was just this inchoate energy. And I said it was like before the Big Bang. You remember that? Well, obviously nobody does.
Yeah.
But there was pure energy and no matter yet and no time yet. I mean, that's where I was. And it was horrible. It was terrifying. And I thought I was dying. But then you come down as kind of a suborbital flight. And then I started coming down. And suddenly I could feel, I got a body. I was touching my legs. I have a body, and like, there's a floor. There's space, and then there's time, and the universe kind of reconsolidated. And I had this feeling of incredible gratitude.
Yeah.
Not just for being alive, which all of us have had at one point or another, but that anything existed. I was grateful for the fact that there is something and not nothing, because I'd seen what nothing was like. And so in that sense, it ended up kind of positive, but you wouldn't want to go there to have that experience. So subsequently, somebody said to me, a very experienced psychonaut who I was telling this story to, he said, you didn't have enough.
That's what I was just going to tell you.
Really?
Yeah, because you only took one hit. You usually take three. You take three, and the rocket ride leads you somewhere. It takes you to the center of the universe.
You take three.
Three in a row.
Take a big one,
blow it out. Take a big one, blow it out. Take a big one, and as you're taking the third one, you're already seeing the world crystallize in front of you. It already starts turning into geometric patterns. You put the pipe down, lay back in the chair, and you just shoot off to the center of the universe. The terrifying thing is you cease to exist. Like it's the one drug that I've ever taken where you're not there anymore.
No.
Even N-dimethyltryptamine, which is the difference between 5-methoxy-dimethyltryptamine is just an oxygen molecule attached to it. But N-dimethyltryptamine is incredibly visually stimulating. 5-methoxy is not.
Yeah.
It's just white.
It was white. It was definitely. I don't know how I could have taken 3 hits because I hadn't exhaled the first one when I was gone.
I don't know what you're. I only did the synthetic version of it.
Yeah.
You're doing this frog
and the person
version.
I know who did the synthetic version had a very different experience, and they felt like they were installed in the firmament as this happy star. But I didn't get there, so it. Who knows? I did something wrong. Okay.
I don't think you did. I just think you had a different experience. And I mean, obviously, there's got to be some sort of chemical difference. I mean, you're probably getting other things in that frog venom as well as pure DMT.
That's right. That may be it.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know the answer to that.
It's fucking frog spit. I mean, do you know
By the
how
way,
they
no
get
harms.
it, too?
No frogs were harmed in the making of this drug.
It's excreted on the outside of their body. And what most people
you can
do
milk
is
them.
Yeah. You rub them on a glass and then let it dry off, and then you scrape it off the glass and
it
then
crystallizes.
You smoke it. Yeah.
I
Good
heard
luck
you
with
just
all
kind of
that.
squeeze them, and then it sprays the glass, and overnight it turns into. It looks like brown sugar.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing. You're the first person who knows anything about it who has
used to be able
interviewed
to buy it.
It was legal till recently, 2011.
Jug of this shit.
Oh my God.
Offline. I bought it from some company, American Chemical Company or something, and they send it to you. And I had enough to get the entire state of California high for several days because it doesn't take much.
It doesn't.
But it's not something you want to do very often.
I don't think it has the same kind of healing properties because you're not bringing back information that's usable.
I brought back a lot.
You did?
Yeah, I brought back a lot about myself. And one of the things that I realized, like as I recorded, what I would do is post-trip, I'd hit a tape recorder right when I became unconscious again and start talking about the experience. And what I remember saying about the 5-methoxy DMT experience is like, as I'm trying to recount what happened, I feel my ego trying to retake hold of the situation and even use words in a way that might impress you with my ability to describe things. Or as a professional comedian too, I was aware that like a lot of what you're doing, you're saying things in a way that's pleasing to people so that they get excited about hearing you talk. And I was very aware of that while I was doing that. I'm saying I'm trying to explain things that are not possible to explain because the words that we're using were all invented for a world that doesn't exist in the DMT dimension. And once you break through, it is so profoundly alien that any words...
And liberating?
Yes. Yeah. Well, in a way, I mean, it may be really, truly realize that we are in a soup of atoms. And that it's not, there's not like Michael Pollan, Joe Rogan, and Jamie Vernon in a room. Here's a wood table. There's oxygen between us. No, we're in a universal stew of particles. And it breaks those particles down, or at least it gives you a view into that. And you cease to exist, which is the most bizarre thing because it's so similar to N,N-dimethyltryptamine chemically, but so different in
experience.
The fact that you're not there. While you're doing regular, like N,N-dimethyltryptamine, which is the active ingredient in ayahuasca. Have you done that, the pure version of it?
No, not the pure version.
The pure version is like a very short, much more intense ayahuasca experience. I've never done ayahuasca. I've only done the DMT version. But
by injection or
no, smoking it. But what you get out of it is you're there while this is happening, and you're just blown away, and you're like, I can't believe
that's true in
what I'm
ayahuasca
seeing.
too. You're present.
But there's all these entities that are trying to calm you down. Relax, take it in, settle down. They're all trying to calm you down and alleviate.
Helpful.
Yeah, it's weird, and they're also fucking with you. Like they give you the finger. Like I had a bunch of jokers that were like dancing around me, giving me the finger.
Did you have machine elves too?
I don't believe in that thing. I don't know what that is. Like McKenna had those experiences of machine elves. I saw it, what I described as complex geometric patterns that are made out of love and understanding. They seem to me to be like the building blocks of the soul all around you all the time.
Wow.
Like some just gigantic, impossibly large, infinite well of souls. Just these things dancing around you, and they were never one thing. They would be one thing for a second, and they change into something else, and then they change into something different. And the more profound the experiences got, the more profound the next one would be. And they kept saying, like, look at this. Like, but the words weren't real words. That's the other thing. It's like I'm saying the words, look at this. And I would have that in my head, but I never heard anybody say it. It was almost like it was triggering the concept of those words in my mind.
Right. It's pre or post linguistic, some of these experiences.
Episode number 1812. Doug Stanhope shares his mind-bending DMT trip. From alternate realities to life-changing insights. One of the wildest on Joe Rogan.
The best thing is to get into the state we could just be Doug Stanhope. And I go, Doug Stanhope, you're on. And just push you onto the stage.
And to get me into that state, I have to know
Incorrect.
what time I should
Incorrect.
not be
No.
shit-faced like I was last night.
No. This is
Don't
the way.
take 50 milligrams.
Cheers. Come on. Take 175.
Don't take
Let's go
50
200.
milligrams and then have Joe Rogan go, show starts now.
Let's do
fuck.
mushrooms. Let's do mushrooms. Let's do.
Oh, I'm
the
scared
show
of them.
on,
I'm scared of
Me
them.
too. That's the point. Come on,
How
Douglas.
long has it been?
Yesterday.
I did do a
For me?
microdosed.
I'm doing them all the time.
All right.
Small amounts.
I don't want to. Exactly. I don't want to even say her name, but yeah, Carmen Morales.
What?
Yeah, she came out. She
What's
was.
her name? Don't say her name.
She's a comic.
Don't listen to me. If you don't want to say her name, don't say her name. Let's call her.
She would want her name to be said.
No. No.
She wasn't dealing
She's
drugs.
giving you drugs.
Yeah.
Don't.
You've given me drugs.
Don't tell these fucking people.
Can you black out the Joe Rogan experience and just say the experience?
Doug Stanhope.
Allegedly.
Doug Stanhope. When the first time he and I did DMT, I was worried I lost him. I was really genuinely worried.
Oh my goodness.
You were gone.
Oh my goodness.
You had gone
oh my
like
goodness.
you had gone to this snoring thing where I was like, do I lift him up so that he doesn't swallow his fucking tongue? I was like, oh my God, if I kill Doug, if the man show dies, because I give Doug DMT.
It was dying, by the way. That we knew we were writing the last monologues ever. And that's what fucked me up. We've told this story every time, I'm sure, on your podcast. But we were at your house writing. We know this is the last of the monologues, and they're fucking just pap dredge, fucking awful. What's up, guys?
It wasn't that bad.
But by the end,
it wasn't that
when
bad.
we know
it's
just, fucking over and we're beaten.
Yeah. Well, there was some.
Last time you want to smoke DMT, my first time, like, all right, this sucks, and we're just getting through this, and then you want to smoke DMT, and then I go fucking into alternate realities. And then I come out of it 10 minutes later saying, I remember, I came out of it just saying, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, because I've just learned the fucking...
You know what else you said? You said, you've already seen this. You said that to me. Oh, you've already seen this. You've already seen this.
I swear the picture of fucking Bill Hicks on your wall winked at me, and when I said that to
the
you...
one with him and the lighting the American flag with a cigarette.
Yeah, what you know,
lighting the cigarette with the American flag.
But I came out of it and I looked, and I swear Bill Hicks fucking winked at me when I said that to you. You went, fucking looked at me like cliche. But I swear that happened.
No,
I'm not even that big a Bill Hicks fan.
You were just insecure because you had like experienced death. And you came back.
When I would go outside to smoke cigarettes from the writer's room on the lot after that, for a week, I couldn't make direct eye contact with the giant dumpster-sized electrical generator because I thought I could make it blow up with my mind. The wiring in my head was so... I've never done it since. People try to drop that off at the merch booth. I go,
should do it
never
tonight.
Again.
We should do it tonight.
Fuck no.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, when
man.
I'm
You're
about
okay.
to when
You're
I'm
better.
gonna quit smoking cigarettes.
You're
yeah,
better
that
now
would be.
because of that day.
I don't know.
Yeah, you are. You know why? Because you know that that's possible. You didn't know that that was possible.
But it's hard to break up. Okay, I'm gonna write a bit about this that now I know is dog shit and means nothing. Because I've been through that experience where you go, this is all so fucking, life is so silly, but you still have to make a living by...
But Doug, just express that. You don't have...
I've been doing that.
But I know you have, but don't worry about that. It doesn't have to be dog shit and silly. It's you. You don't think about that. Think about you. Think about if you were like some 24-year-old guy working in a fucking newspaper distributor office. You had a bullshit job and you're allowed to listen to podcasts and you listen to you talk about your experience. Don't worry about like your own fucking weirdness in handling it. Worry about what it is. What it is like you died and came back. Like you really felt like you died and came back. When you came back,
I didn't feel like I died.
You said
I felt like I knew.
You said to me,
hearsay, Your Honor.
This is what you said. You said life eats life. You said life just eats life. Life eats life. Life eats life.
Wow.
This is what you said. When you were coming out, you were like, life just eats life. Life just eats life. It just keeps going. It keeps going. Life eats life. Life eats life. I'm just trying to hang on. Life eats life. Life eats life. It's like, you've already been there. You've already been here. You've already been here.
Ultimate
and then
knowledge.
you're like, you took me to this place. You've already been there. I'll never forget that because I thought you were going to die. I was like, God damn it. Nobody's ever died from this shit. I'm like, if Doug's the first guy to die, I'm like, he's... Like maybe I like overestimated the RPMs that his fucking engine can handle and redlined. But you got through it, and that was the thing you kept saying. Life eats life. Life eats life. Life eats life.
But the dichotomy of having to go from that supernatural experience in 10 minutes and then go back to, oh wait, now we really have to try it, finishing up these dumb monologues.
Yeah, but that's okay
like,
too. That's okay too, because that's a unique challenge. That's like some weird thing we're doing. Like, what are we doing?
Episode number 1501, Joe Rogan dives deep into the DMT realm with comedian Russell Peters, from microdosing to meeting interdimensional jesters.
Have you been microdosing at all?
A little bit every now and then. Want to do some right now?
I've never done it.
Oh. Okay.
You know, I'm the CCO of a company that does
a microdosing company.
Yeah, it's
how do they do that if it's all super illegal?
Well, no. So what it is it's a company called Red Light Holland, and it's the truffle.
The truffle.
So it's the top. The mushroom cap is the illegal part.
What?
The stem, which is the truffle, is not illegal.
They're going to jail. Okay, listen to me.
So we're in the
shit's
process.
All illegal.
We're in the process of getting it all legalized and done the right way, and it'll be available in the Netherlands first, microdosing, and then eventually we're hoping it goes the way of marijuana.
Well, I think it can. Right now, everything's in flux. Everything's all fucked up right now, and particularly in California.
Chappelle wanted me to do mushrooms with him. He said, you got to do mushrooms. I go, I've never done it because you got to do it with me and John Mayer. I'm like,
whoa.
I'm like, I don't know.
It's heavy.
Yeah, I go.
What if John starts singing?
Yeah, I go. You guys are both professionals at this. I don't want to be the guy fucking crying in the corner.
Are you nervous about it?
Yeah, I don't know what it does.
Just do a little bit. Just do a little. Do a little and you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you build. You just try it out. You do a little.
Should I be alone when I do it?
The first time you should do it with a friend
who knows how to.
Yeah, I would say just to take one cap, just something light. Mm-hmm. You'll feel good. The mushrooms want you to like them. And so the first time you do it, they're going to welcome you. They're going to be like, oh, man, this is what you should be doing.
Yeah.
We're going to straighten out all your personal problems, all these little weird personality tics that you got, all this strange shit, trouble you keep getting yourself into.
I fucking do, too.
We'll help you. The mushrooms are going to talk to you. We'll help you. And then one day they're going to trick you into taking a large dose, and then you're going to meet the aliens. Then you're going to realize that this dimension that we live in it's connected to neighboring dimensions that are accessible through certain psychedelics. And then once you see that, you can never unsee it. It's regular life loses its seriousness. It loses like 20% of its seriousness. It's still serious, still regular life, but 20% of it goes away forever because you know that that's possible. You know that these other worlds exist and that other people are just out there running through their entire life from birth to death, and they never experience those worlds. And that's weird because like you're running around. Like I run into people because people know that I've done a lot of psychedelic drugs. So I'll run into people that know and they've done it too, and they look at you and they'll talk to you like, hey man, you know, I did this because of you. Like a buddy of mine said that to me the other day. You gave me the courage to try this psychedelic drug, and I was like, oh shit, what was it like? And he's like,
what did he take?
He took DMT, and he was like,
that's a little bit more advanced, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. And this guy's he's a bad motherfucker. He's a Navy SEAL, but never had any experience like that. DMT
what was his experience with it?
Well, I mean, I would have to talk to him more in depth, but when everybody does it, what you get when they're describing it is just sort of like trying to use words to describe something where there's no references. It's not, the words don't work. You you could kind of tell me what it was like, and I could kind of go, yeah, okay, I kind of see that because I've done it. But if I hadn't done it, there's no way. I have nothing.
It's like somebody trying to explain their dream to you.
Well, that's what's similar in this stuff. DMT is actually endogenous. It exists in the human body, and they believe that it comes out in your dreams. They believe that when you're dreaming, your body is releasing some of that stuff. They don't totally understand it, right? It's one of those weird things where they really only found out that mammals created in the pineal gland within the last few years. The Cottonwood Research Foundation, which is connected to Rick Strassman, who wrote that book, DMT, the Spirit Molecule. He ran a bunch of FDA-approved, I believe the only FDA-approved tests on DMT, where they shot it into people in a clinical setting.
How did you consume it?
Freebasing it. You freebase it.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a fiend?
Yeah, like a fiend. It's like a glass bowl connected to like a tube, and you light the bottom of the bowl. The DMT sits inside the bowl.
What is the...
It looks like a white powder,
okay.
Like a white, almost yellowish white powder. Depending on which one you take. The 5-methoxy DMT is white, and then the other stuff was more like white with like a little bit of yellow to it. And you take it, it tastes like burnt plastic. It tastes terrible. And you take a big, deep breath. You want to take like 3 big inhales. The first time I did it, I only took 1. and I just got to the door. I got like to the door of the DMT dimension. I was like, what is this? This is weird. It was really weird, but I didn't even know what weird was because like 20 minutes later, I did a second one. And the second one, I took way more. I took like 3 big hits. And then it was almost like you're in a slingshot or a catapult. It was like you could feel the tension, like tick, 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 tick. And all of a sudden, you shot through these colors and lights into like what felt like some new place.
What is your physical doing during all of this?
Just laying there. Yeah. One time recently I did it, like the last time I did it was like a couple of years ago. I opened my eyes in the middle of it. It was very strange. It's like I can almost see reality, but it was all real pixelated, and it was like I was seeing life through like a dirty saran wrap or something. It was just very strange. And then I closed my eyes back and I went. It's the experience of the psychedelic realm is more vivid than regular life, which is real strange, because it doesn't feel like you're on a drug, because you're still you. That's another part of it. It doesn't change your, like when you're drunk, it changes the way you think. Like you think different. This is not that. This is like you think the same way, but you're being confronted with something that's insanely alien. Just alien to everything that you know to be true. And then there's all these things around you that seem to be alive, and they seem to be talking to you and communicating with you. The last time I did it, was a bunch of jokers that were giving me the finger, like jesters. Gestures with, like, you know, they have the little bells.
Yeah.
They were all like shaking and giving me the finger and like spinning around, like going, fuck you. They were mocking me. And the thing that I got from it was like, oh, I take myself too seriously. I need to be mocked. And they were mocking me. And as they were mocking me, I relaxed. And then they like pointed at me like, you get it.
Yeah.
You get it. Because you can get lost. You can take yourself seriously, and you want others to take you. Like, what is the grossest kind of man? Like the kind of man who wants everyone to tremble when he walks into a room, wants, rose petals thrown at his feet. He wants everyone to call him sir.
And be uncomfortable.
Yeah, everyone to be uncomfortable because he's a fucking man.
Yeah.
And that kind of guy responds very poorly to being mocked, right? So I think that it was like letting me know, like, hey, bitch, you got a little of that in you. You need to get that out of your system, especially as a person who's a professional mocker. I'm a mocker of things.
We are stand-up mockers.
There's a lot to be mocked.
How long does it last for?
15 minutes.
That's it?
Yes.
And what about the microdosing?
That's similar. This video that you're playing, it's kind of like that, but way more intense.
I don't know how this. It's a VR experience called ayahuasca that you can. I don't know how exactly it works. I haven't tried it.
Is ayahuasca different?
No, it is and no. But see, the thing about ayahuasca is it lasts longer because it's orally. You take. See, that's probably more similar, and you can get there on ayahuasca and DMT. It's the same thing. It's dimethyltryptamine. It's just when you're taking it with ayahuasca, your body is processing it orally, and you take it with something called an MAO inhibitor. MAO is monoamine oxidase. It's produced by your gut, and it processes DMT naturally that exists in plants. So like there's a lot of plants that have DMT in it. And if you just if you were eating grass, like some sort of like phalaris grass or something like that, it's really rich in DMT. So if you were eating
so you would get high off.
You would get high as fuck. But monoamine oxidase that's produced by your gut, it breaks that stuff down so it's not orally active. So if you took some DMT that you would freebase and just ate it, it wouldn't do anything to you because your gut would break it down. But then if you took it with an MAO inhibitor, preferably the kind of plant-based MAO inhibitor that they use in ayahuasca, because they know, like those MAO inhibitors that people take, like sometimes people take them as a medication, those can be dangerous. They're much more potent, and there's all sorts of weird side effects. I've heard of people taking pharmaceutical MAO inhibitors, and then they take mushrooms or something else with them, and they really can fuck them up, like real bad.
Yeah, because they're cross-pollinating their fucking drug use.
You're doing all kinds of wacky shit to your brain that your brain is probably not really designed. You're redlining your brain. Your brain may stay together, or you might go fucking shine on, you crazy diamond.
Yeah, go off the deep end there.
Yeah.